Understanding the laws of nature catapulted us into the Industrial Revolution. Now, understanding the laws of our nature, we will be rocketed into an emotional revolution that will transform our world even more than ever before.
The laws of our nature. The law of Simplify, part 1. The law of Simplify basically states that people that are not like us, we see as all the same. We simplify them. And people that are like us, we see as diverse. It is to blame for people that are diverse to float apart and not be unified. But the burning question here is, why is this a challenge? The question we need to answer to see why it is a challenge is, would we look at people and unify them by their good or their bad attributes? Which one of the two would be more dominant? If we look at the law of Slip, which says that we'll look at the worst first, then it seems like the negative or the worst attribute might be more dominant in the people we don't agree with or that we don't see as ourselves. The other thing that happens now is, as soon as we do this, we start to search for the wrong thing. You see, the law of Simplify creates we, in-group, or them, out-group. The in-group is unique and the out-group is all the same. I realized this most significantly when a friend of mine that was from a different continent came to visit, and he had been here for a short while when he admitted to me that we all tend to look the same. I had to chuckle because I know that many of my countrymen would look at him and the people coming from his continent as all looking the same. You see, it's got to do with in and out group. And it doesn't stay only with the outside, but also the inner attributes. Let's have a look at some examples. We make a divide between old people and young, between different generations. I'll never forget when my teenage son came to me one day and said to me, "Dad, I'm so frustrated with these old people because they all say that we young people are all the same. We don't have drive, we don't have vision, we're not prepared to work hard." And I started to chuckle and he asked me, "Dad, why are you laughing?" And I said, "My boy, it's because you're doing exactly the same thing to the old people as you are complaining they are doing with you." Then between men and women, I've heard men say all women are like this, or women say all men are like that, but I've never heard a woman say that all women are the same, or a man say that all men are the same. We do the same thing between tribes. We would easily talk about another tribe as all being the same, but we know that the people we identify with are all unique. The same thing happens with skin color. My youngest son, Nathaniel, was adopted when he was just 3 months old. He grew up in our household from 3 months old, and yet people still ask me, because he has a different skin color than me, what language he speaks, as if skin color would determine the language. You see, we make these choices not because we are necessarily evil. We make these choices because we don't connect with those people. We don't see them as like us. We see them as different, and therefore we make them all the same. The same thing is true for language. When I tell people that I am German speaking, I always need to clarify that I am not arrogant and I am very kind and that kind of stuff, because that is the connotation a lot of people in our country have with German-speaking individuals. When it comes to religion, the same thing is true. People think that certain individuals of a different congregation or a different religion are all the same, but they realize that those people that they identify with are unique and different. The same is true for different departments in your business. Also for different levels in your business. I've heard people in senior management talking about the staff as if it's one person. But I've also heard the staff speak of management as if it's one person. Different departments would allocate different attributes to that department. Finance would easily say that the people in human capital don't have a clue how finances work. And human capital would easily say that people in finance have no personality. What is your divide? What keeps you from connecting? More insight into this basic dynamic is going to help you to expand your in-group. And as your in-group expands, you'll be able to deal with diversity more effectively. I hope you're encouraged today to take that first step, to challenge yourself and ask yourself, what is it that I use to make a choice of people being in my in-group or in my out-group? Have fun.